And welcome back to Jackie's Garden Spot. I am Jackie, growing in Zone 8B, Alabama. We have some new subscribers that are absolutely welcome into our channel. Welcome to our big happy family, and to the returning subscribers. Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me back on the channel again. So today we will be looking at the progress of the garden, and we will also be dropping some new seeds. Come on and let's get started. Is the turnip row. This one doesn't look so healthy, but I'm going to leave it and continue to fertilize it, and hopefully it'll do well. Those are beautiful right there. And on down that road, these are all turnips. All turnips. I just planted these out yesterday, so it looks like they're trying to get their way, or they're fitting into the ground, so they're still going through a little withdrawal. Hopefully they'll do fine. That's some more turnips. So they're doing wonderful. Then our peanuts are still doing beautiful. By the middle of next month, or maybe the end, I don't know yet. I have to go back and look at my planner. It'll be time to pull these up and see what's underneath that soil. This is another row of Georgia collards on down that row. And then looks like my tree collard didn't make it, so I will plant out some more of those. See, that tree collard died out, so I will plant out another tree collard, or some more tree collards. I think this is a tree collard right here that was saved. I'll know once it gets bigger. These 3 rows were planted yesterday off camera, so I'm going to go through these 3 rows and explain what we have growing here. So the first row, we have broccoli. It's doing wonderful. All broccoli down that row, I think. Let me go on down and look for tags just to be sure. Yeah, I think all of that is broccoli, but that looks more like I don't know, it may be broccoli. Maybe. This is another row of broccoli. It's doing wonderful. I'm just checking on it. Looks like some bug pressure there again. Let's look at the back of that leaf. We don't see anything though, so I'll leave it alone. I don't know, but anyway, looks like it's doing wonderful. Let's go back here, because I see another one. This broccoli has some bug pressure. And that's the thing. Anytime you have a garden, you're going to have some bug pressure. I don't see anything on the leaves. So you do have to check those leaves constantly, the front and the back of them, to make sure that you are getting all of those pests from off of your vegetation. Section right here was where we used to have the corn planted. Our second succession of corn was planted down that road. So what we did was went ahead and removed the corn, because it was not going to be productive at all. So we removed the corn, and we did replace it with the cabbage and the broccoli in this area. Okay, and moving on. These are cheddar cauliflowers. They're doing wonderful here, that we have planted in here. So that's on that second row, and then let's go to the third row. So this is the third row of broccoli that we planted out. It's coming along very well. It's all the way down that line. It looks like everything we planted out yesterday, with the exception of maybe one. That one doesn't look so hot, but everything else does look wonderful. Well, we got another one too. That one's holding on still. So it looks like everything we have planted out so far is doing beautiful. And then look at our cucumbers. They're doing wonderful still. They're coming in. We did harvest one off of it. My concern was whether it was going to be bitter or not, because of the weather fluctuation, but it is not. They're not bitter. They are sweet as ever, and I'm loving it. That is another cucumber there. So they are regularly coming in. Can you see those cucumbers and all of those blooms? So that is doing wonderful, guys. Beautiful. This is our ginger and our turmeric. So I'm waiting on the rest of these leaves to die back. That signifies that it is time to harvest this ginger and turmeric. So it's getting there, but we're not quite there yet. But it is looking healthy. Looks like we finally got our first Sugar Rush peach scratch pepper here. I'm waiting on it to change colors. We have another one coming in. So it looks like we're going to get some of those before the fall officially sets in as well. This is the fish pepper that was planted out late in that secondary successive planting. So it stunted a little, looks like, but you can see the variegation of the leaves. They are very pretty. And then the bloom are just now coming in. So we'll see what happens with that. And then moving over to the other pepper that was planted a little later. This is the African birdseye pepper that I was telling you about that has the medicinal properties to it. So it's still surviving and thriving, and we'll see what happens with that one. My thought process is that if it remains small like that, then if the weather begins to turn very, very cold, I may be able to move it in to that green stock inside of the greenhouse. Just a thought that's going through my head. We just harvested peppers maybe a day or two ago, and look at our peppers, guys. They are bad. It's cayenne peppers. So we did keep quite a few peppers, and they're still coming in. Let me show you the beautiful color on the banana pepper while I'm walking this way. But I do need to come in today and harvest some of these peppers. Look at those bell peppers. Still beautiful, still doing well. So our tree is full of peppers. We still have blooms coming in, if you can see that. All those blooms coming in still. And then our banana pepper is full of banana peppers. So that's doing wonderful still. Peppers are looking good. And then let's discuss these melons. So we did harvest out a lot of melons that came in, and I thought that that was it. But looks like the melons just got new life, and looks like we have some more coming in. Look, guys, I didn't see this one this weekend when I was harvesting. Look at those melons. Look at these coming in. So those melons are doing beautiful. They're all over. See the little one in there? I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. Or let me get closer to show you. Right in here. And we have them all over. They're different sizes. And then look at all of the blooms that we have. So those melons are regularly coming in, and I am just going to enjoy them. And I love to see that. Look at that one. And then the blooms around it. Yeah. Another one over there. And then our collective former melon, we have one right there. That's another lemon melon though. But let's pan over to this collective former melon and see what we have in here. I'm trying not to step on all of the foliage and blooms here, but let's see if we can find some in here. Thought I saw some. Oh, here we go. Right in here. Those are doing beautiful, and they're getting bigger. And then our sugar baby just sprouted out and took form here. And look at that bee, guys. He's working. I'm glad to see him in here. They're busy and buzzing around. So our melons are still doing wonderful. I was out in the garden just walking around and assessing what was going on in the garden. And I heard a pop. So I began to look around, and look, guys, the lemon melon popped open. So I'm glad that I caught it because it is salvageable. We can eat it, but it did burst. So it does help when you check on your garden each and every day. Okay, and moving on. So our moringa is still doing wonderful. That means that I'll get another harvest of moringa before that tree goes dormant for the winter time, which is always good. Our carrots are still doing wonderful. They're still growing, thriving, surviving, doing well. Let me go down here and see along this base, see what's going on. I don't feel anything yet, so I'm going to leave it. It's not ready to pull yet anyway. So it's still doing wonderful. It's still moist there. That's always good because you do have to keep those carrots moist to promote healthy growth. The strawberries are still there scattered around. I'm sure that they will spread out throughout the spring of next year. And then we did come in and drop some new lettuce out of the seedling pots that will hopefully start to take off. This lettuce that we did 2 weeks ago is still taking off and doing well. Then our comfrey is still there. We've been trying to watch the bugs there and treating that, and so our comfrey is bushing back out and taking on new growth. Always good. We have growing on now. So we still have calendula that's still growing and coming along. We have some dahlia that I need to put into the flower in the herb garden there. I did start some rutabaga seeds. So they have started and hopefully they'll all germinate. And then we started some Merlot lettuce. We have some giant Caesar lettuce that's doing beautiful. We did start some red mustard greens. That gourmet blend lettuce was started last week and we have some germination as well as the butter crunch. Okay. And then our onions are doing good. We still have these onions that we planted out like a week and a half ago. So we're still keeping them moist and we're going to see what happens with those. And then we have here some Brussels sprouts germinating here and there. We have some more onion in this area. And then in here we have Brussels sprouts. All of these are mostly Brussels sprouts. I think, no, we have some mustards here and here. So for the most part, these are Brussels sprouts that we just started out that we'll hopefully get to put some in the garden as well. So there we go. And that's what we have left. And today we are going to start, what am I starting today here? Let's see. We're going to start some Twister hybrid cauliflower. And then we're going to do some Alabama blue collards. That's what we're starting today. So let me get my seeds ready and my soil ready, and I'll be right back. Let's go ahead and drop our seeds for this Twister cauliflower and these blue collards, Alabama blue collards. So I'm going to do the Alabama blue collards first. And pour out some seeds here. That's how those seeds look. And I think I'm going to put 2 per cell. See what happens with that germination there. That looks like it turned out to be 3. Okay. And I'm going to just cover those up lightly. That's a piece of wood there. Get those out because they will hinder the germination. And then I'm going to put my sticker there. And those are ready. Next is the Twister. It's called the Twister Hybrid Cauliflower F1. And that's a good thing. They've already put in the marker, so don't have to really make a marker, which I did as well anyway, but hey, we'll just end up with 2 in there. Those seeds look like that. And I'm going to also put 2 per indention. And I just came in and did like a little finger indention. Because you don't need to plant these so deep. They are small seeds, so they don't need to be planted very deep at all. And I'm going to come in and cover up my little indention. And I'm going to lightly spray these and they'll be off to the races. Let's move on. As you heard me going around the garden talking about my first line of defense against pests is to pick them off. But however, if that bug pressure gets out of hand, which it will sometimes do, then I do come back in with a safe, wholesome pesticide, if you will, to put in my garden. I don't put a lot in. I do dust my crops with it from time to time to stop that bug pressure. So my aunt was telling me about this particular brand right here that's called the Tiger Brand Super 10 Garden and Pest Dust. So it says that it's good for roses and flowers, fruits and vegetables, foundations, patios, decks. Contain permethrin, a long-lasting insecticide that provides contact and residual control for up to 4 weeks on many hard-to-kill sucking and chewing insects. So this particular stuff does kill and repel. It's for indoor, outdoor. It is odorless. It came ready to use. It protects roses, flowers, and vegetables from all of those. So I thought that it would be good to use in my garden. I have been using it. I haven't had any problems so far. So yeah, this is exactly what I've been using out here. And I wanted to come on and show you that because a lot of people are saying, well, I don't know what to use. A lot of people don't believe in using the pesticides. And so you have to do what's best for your particular garden. That's what I always tell everybody. Do what's best for your particular garden. Okay. This is another insect repellent that my husband mentioned to me. It's a monthly insect repellent. It is called First Saturday Lime. And this one is poured around the base of the home each month to repel ants, lice, mice, and other pests. I've been experimenting with it on the borderline part of the border petition of my existing garden. It's safe for environment, it's safe for pets, it's safe for organic gardening. Okay, so on the back of this, the top uses that it's being used for is to prevent lice, ants, fleas, aphids, small beetles, lice, and pests in the organic garden. A lot of people have chickens, stables, and everything. So it does freshen and deodorizes the coops, the stables, the barns, the kennels. It protects the homes, barns, stables, coops, greenhouses, kennels, flower beds. So where my particular greenhouse is located is in the center part of our yard, which means that snakes are not going to readily come to the center of the yard because we do have a lot of wildlife, a lot of hawks, eagles, things of that nature out here that will attack the snakes. So the environment pretty much takes care of itself here, but you do have those critters around. So I'm not particularly concerned about like the really creepy snakes around on my garden because they don't want to come in the center of the land in the open. They don't like open areas. Okay, so I don't really have to worry about that, but I do have to worry about the bigger animals such as the raccoon, the deer, and all of that. Okay, and so this First Saturday Lime also is used for whitewash for walls and crafts. It removes algae from the ponds and bird baths. Like for instance, the ponds, we haven't used it out in our fishing pond, although it can work out there, but we haven't used it because we haven't had a fish kill. And let's knock on some wood, we haven't had a fish kill in a number of years yet. A fish kill is when the algae begins to die out all of a sudden in the pond. That normally comes from a lot of the fluctuation in the climate. So when the algae dies out, then the fish can't get the oxygen that they need and they do die out. And if you have a pond or you've ever seen a fish kill, you don't want to have to experience a fish kill because the fish start to die out very fast like a lot of them, and you do have to decide what you're going to do about that. So yeah, that's the downside of having a fishing pond. Okay, and this stuff also prevents fleas and ticks in the yard. So if you have a lot of if you're in an area where you have a lot of dogs or anything of that nature, then this stuff does work for that. And it does give you the directions for pouring it and all of that. So as I said, I have opened mine and I have gone around the perimeter parts of my garden just to see what happens. And so far, what I'm doing is working, because last year during this time when I planted out my greens, the pest was just eating them up as fast as I could plant them down. And so now we're taking off some growth this year with it. So I am seeing a difference here. So I'm just sharing with you what I'm doing in my garden. Again, you have to do what's best in your garden. I always tell people, do what's best for you in your garden. We are at the grow box. Of course, we always get to the grow box, right? So our lettuce is still coming in. That's the romaine lettuce that's still coming in. And then look at our Tiny Tim tomatoes. They're still full of blooms, and those tomatoes are regularly coming in, guys. I am so proud of that. And then let me go around to show you what we have with the bigger tomatoes as well. Look at our sun goals. They are coming in. Beautiful color. They're doing wonderful. So we still are getting some tomatoes. I thought that this would be it for this particular harvest, but it looks like we have some more blooms coming on there too. So yeah, our tomatoes are still doing wonderful. The zinnia plant needs to go. However, what's going on with the zinnia and why I'm leaving it here, guys, is because the hummingbirds still love it. They still come out and they still get their little nectar out of there. So I'm leaving those just for the hummingbirds because they are still here and still on our property. Okay, so everything looks good in the grow box. Everything is still doing beautiful. We are back at our sad looking potato, sweet potato plants, guys. So that is the purple sweet potato. It's looking sad. I'm just going to go ahead, cut my losses, and pull these potatoes today, this bag today. These other ones seem like they are making a good turnaround, so I'm going to leave them until the end of the month. Never mind that sound, that's just the alarm for the deer. So these look like they're making a turnaround, but this one right here does not look so. So I cut my losses and um, try to get whatever's in this bag out today. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing from here. And I don't know why, but let me turn off this awareness alarm for these deer so that you can hear me, because I left my mic in the house. Give me a moment. I have to remember to turn it back on when I leave out of here today. But I'm going to go ahead and cut my losses on this bag, and we're going to pull out what we have here. If it's nothing, then that's fine. That means that frees up this bag for planning out something else for the fall. But we need to just go ahead and see, and that the suspense has been just wearing on me here. And I don't like for plants to look like this, and looks like this is just dying out by the day. So let's see here. We're going to go ahead and start to pull up like that. That's puny. It's nothing to me, really. Which means that it may be an indication that we don't have anything in this bag. And that's fine. That means that next year, it just teaches me I've learned the lesson for next year, which means to go ahead and put these somewhere where the deer can't potentially reach them. See, that's sad. Let me get a shovel. Well, maybe I don't need one. I'm digging. Yeah, we don't have anything here. I really don't think we have anything. Okay, let me see if I can't get deeper down here to see. Oh, that's a big plant that I can't really get. Let me get my shovel. I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Put my gloves back on. I don't really want to chop too much in here, but we have to do what we can do. I don't think we have anything, guys. I'm not getting anything. So, that was a bust. It's all soil. So, no harvest of the purple potatoes, nothing. Flat busted. I think our deer ate us out of that one this year. So, lesson learned for next year. At the feedlot, when I went and I was inquiring to one of the farmers about the deer eating up my sweet potatoes, he told me to put down some eggs. See, like, it didn't get started. It was trying, but it didn't get started. He told me to put down some raw eggs. He said it wouldn't smell like much of anything. It would stink really bad, but it would keep the deer away. So next year, lesson learned, and hopefully we'll get some potatoes. So that's that. And so that frees that up to plant out something else for the fall. And moving on. This is today's harvest. Very good harvest. We have some sun gold tomatoes, some bell peppers, some banana peppers, Anaheim peppers, shishitos, cayenne, and Tokyo long cucumbers. Very good harvest today. And as always, I hope that you've learned something that you can use in your own garden spot today, or you saw something that will benefit your own garden spot. So until the next episode, be well and be blessed. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to see more content from me. Bye, guys.